Hello and welcome. We're doing our first book review. And guess which one this bad boy's on? I should probably put a spoiler warning. Spoiler warning, there is spoilers of the book and the movie in this video. Wuthering Heights. I want to talk about it. I need to talk about it. I just need to put my thoughts out there and see if anything comes back or if anyone else has some interesting thoughts, because I had many thoughts during this wee book here. Now, what inspired me to read the book is the cover as you see it. The movie that came out with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, the movie inspired me to read it. It was one of those books where I was like, I actually will read the book before I watch the movie. Not even to see how accurate it is, more to make my own world and then see the world of another be portrayed on screen. So in saying that, I read Wuthering Heights, the book, and I was confused. Majority of the time I was confused. The first few pages I was so lost. And I had just come to the conclusion of, oh, well, I'm just going to have to, it's going to be a slow start. I'll get into it. For reference, the book is split into two. Emily Brontë, part 1, part 2, Wuthering Heights. The whole of part 1, I was so uninvested, so confused. I got the gist of what was happening, but I just didn't care. I hated all the characters. The only one I even came remotely close to liking was Catherine, and even she was just like a bitch. And it was just because everyone was so living in such a false world. It's well, if you were just honest in the first place, there would be no issue. And I was just so frustrated. And it's narrated by Nellie, or Ellen, Nellie? I can't even remember her name. It's been a month since I've read it, so I'm a little bit rusty. But she, pretty much the whole book is kind of set in, there's this new tenant in a house that is owned by Heathcliff, who is in the story. And the new tenant wants to get the goss, and his, I guess, is Nellie the housemaid, the nurse? She's kind of the housekeeper, she maintains the household. She's well, let me tell you what's going on. And she sits him down, and this whole book is just her retelling the story that already happened. Super interesting perspective to have it from, but unreliable narrator. I hate unreliable narrators with a passion, and I feel like that's from advanced English. I just don't enjoy them, because then it makes me have to worry and think about, I can't trust anything they're telling me within these pages. Nothing they're saying is of value or is reliable. It's not the eyes of the story that I want to see. I don't know, the language took me a while to get used to. Obviously it was written in the 1800s. Old book, so difficult for me to kind of put myself in the position of a person reading it back then. And it's nearly 200 years old. That's kind of crazy. What I'm holding in my hand is nearly 200 years old worth of thought and knowledge. And that was super fascinating to think about while reading this. I was oh my god, people would have ate this story up. It's enemies to lovers, but not, it never happens, but it's insinuated and it's confusing and it's very proper. I don't know, it's just very strange. It was a very strangely laid out book, and I found it boring for the first half. The second half I was very interested. My favourite character is Miss Catherine Linton, which is Kathy Jr. And I didn't even realise Catherine was pregnant in part 1. And I don't know if that's just me and if I'm just dumb and maybe I need to read it again. I'm not going to read it again because it was hard to get through and I don't want to do it again. But I just didn't pick up that she was pregnant until she died. Oh, I should probably put a spoiler warning. Spoiler warning, there is spoilers of the book and the movie in this video. After Catherine died and they were a ray of sunshine, it's her face, I was She was pregnant. I didn't realise she was pregnant. Did she die giving birth, or did she die from the manic episode or the unwell? I don't know. And it's also like really eye-opening in the sense of like during that time, heartbreak. I don't know how accurate it is because it's fiction, but like heartbreak is a sickness, and people got sick so quickly and so easily, and people were dead, dropping dead all the time, so young. And we are seriously privileged to be in this world and be able to live and see our family live on forever and not be heartbroken to the point of death. Like, I think it's so crazy because their world was so small in like Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange. Thrushcross Grange? I don't know. These are just the words in my brain. This is completely my opinion. You don't have to take it on board. You can completely disregard what I'm saying. Half of it could be wrong, inaccurate. I don't know. This is just my interpretation. This is what I gathered from it like a month ago. And now I'm sitting down to review. But like, I feel like it has given me such a perspective of life and like how blessed we all are to be here on this earth at this time. Because at this time, like, I've never had a book make me feel so bored, so sad, so boxed in, so depressed, so angry, so furious, because I hate all the characters bar one character. And that rarely happens for me in books. Usually I give characters benefit of the doubt, but like literally none of them I enjoyed their company in this book. None of them were appealing to me in any way, shape or form. I love their like the declarations of their love and all of that stuff, but it's also so dramatic and so big, and I love that. It's very theatrical, it's very dramatized, very melodramatic. But it's just like, it made me feel so many things, and that means it's a good book because it made me feel all of these things. And I think there's definitely something to be said that a book that's nearly 200 years old is still being read to this day and interpreted into cinema and still being talked about and sparking conversations and teaching lessons for the newer generations. Like, I learnt so much in this book in terms of the language that was used, in terms of the structure, in terms of the life lessons that it gives you in regards to love, and in regards to being a person or a good person or a bad person. It kind of, I hate all the characters, but I love them in the sense of they show me exactly what I don't want to be like and how I don't want to live and what I would do differently. And you kind of sit there judging these people, and it's like, well, people actually lived like this and their world was so small, but it was so big. It's this big, expanded, depresso espresso world of just like, you need to get out of your hometown. I don't know, you need to get out of the house. That's what I got. I was just like, you guys need to get a life outside of this. Like, Heathcliff goes elsewhere, but we don't know where he goes. That's as big as the world gets, is Heathcliff went and came back. That's as good as it gets. Like, I don't know, I found it it took me on a journey, to say the least. This book took me on a journey, and I don't know if I enjoyed the journey, but you know what? I can enjoy the journey for the fact that I didn't enjoy it, and it challenged me as a reader in terms of reading difficulty, vocabulary, the storyline, the structure, the language, the time, the setting. I didn't know what some things were, had to look them up. It got me thinking outside of the box. The relationships, the battle of relationships, and deciphering from the unreliable narrator, Nellie, and deciphering Emily Bronte's words and the way that she would relay information, because some of it is very like methodical and magical, and it feels and flows, and then some of it is just very like rigid and stops and starts and is very confusing and misleading, but I feel like that's also part of it, and that's why it is so good. So when I look back on it and reflect, oh, great book, bored the shit out of me until the second part. I don't know, it was just like, seriously, why are we bickering about half of this stuff? Like, it's so irrelevant in the scheme of life. And I don't know, it just made me think. And I know I'm saying a lot of the same things and it's running in circles a little bit, but I think it's a fascinating thing to talk about. Like, the romance between Catherine and Heathcliff is like, it's spoken about. It's never acted upon that we see. And it's just so fascinating. But that's the book. Let's talk about the movie. The movie, I personally loved it. The only thing I don't understand is the opening shot of like the town square that we never see again. And it's like a horny town. And I'm just like, why? I don't understand. Like, I get it. But that was the only thing that I was like, that really wasn't necessary. Like, it definitely set the scene, but I think it could have been done a little bit differently. But I guess it welcomed and deterred the viewers that were meant to continue watching and not continue watching, because people would have looked at that and gone, oh, this looks interesting, or oh, this is weird, or oh, get me out of this cinema. Like, a really great movie, standalone from the book. I think I love the storytelling of like the characters and the context. It helped me as a reader piece together parts of the book that maybe I didn't get or understand. It helped me just close the gaps with people. Thought Joseph could have been a bit older. I don't know, he was a really old man in my head in the book. The Wuthering Heights house in my head kind of reminded me of a stone version of the Onceler's house in the Lorax. Like, surrounded by grass, rocks and stone, but the style of like the Onceler's house being all decrepit and like old, like the really big like vertical roofs and stuff. Like, that's what I pictured. And then the movie came out and I was like, that's not what I pictured Wuthering Heights to look like, because Wuthering Heights is the house. And I was just, I don't know, that took me off guard. Like, there were so many things, like it felt so separate to this book, because this book as well is so like well hidden. Like, I feel like, I cannot remember the director's name, but she took this as a base, kind of like used the characters, used their story, extracted it, and then made it into this other beautiful, sexy, orgasmic world that is Wuthering Heights the movie, with two of the most gorgeous people alive. Oh my god, couldn't get over it. But I was just like, oh, I'm watching smut on TV and I'm so happy about it. And they were so passionate and so talented, and I'm just like, how do you film this with a straight face? Like, so fascinating. But the costume, the colours, the detail that went into this film, like, it's like the director just like, everything in here just took it to another level of like vibrancy. Like, it's just like, this is black and white and that was fully saturated colour. Like, I don't know, man, I really enjoyed the movie. Controversial with Saltburn. I don't know, Saltburn was very controversial, but it was a good movie. Like, super strange, some super interesting choices were made, but we're here on this earth to challenge and explore different things and make people uncomfortable, and I think that was done again in Wuthering Heights. People are like, oh, it's too vulgar. Have you seen 365 Days? That's too vulgar. At least there's like an actual like story here, an actual romance. But I wasn't as emotionally attached to the characters in the book. I shed a little tear when Catherine died. That was it. In Wuthering Heights, they kind of broke me. I feel emotional talking about it. Oh my God. The movie was just part one of the book. So part of me felt fine after because I knew part two existed in this little world. But the movie is just part one and it broke something in me. I lost it crying when Catherine died. I was like, and that's it. And that's it. And I was just like so upset because one thing I feel like I didn't find much joy in this book, whereas I found more joy in the movie. So there was more of an up and a down and an up and a down. With the joy, you have more to lose. And at the end, when she died, I knew it was coming, but like joy crumbled down and then it just ended. And it's just like, wow, that just took me on such a journey. Whereas this felt very much like this the whole time. So the stakes weren't very high. I don't know, I found that very interesting. And then it's just maybe the way that I interpreted the book. Maybe I wasn't in the space to read the book. Maybe I was impatient, skipped over things. Maybe I just wanted to watch the movie, so I finished the book. Like, I don't know, but it was such an interesting comparison to make because there couldn't be a comparison. You can compare the looks, like Jacob Elordi is not black and Heathcliff in the book is black. And that's a pretty pivotal part of the storyline. And I don't know how to feel about that choice, but again, it's like her own interpretation, her own choices. I mean, he did a good job. He turned the character into his own, but it feels so different to the book. I don't know. So much of its own thing, but then being based off something, it's like, well, how much do you base it off the book and how much do you create and make your own? I don't know what the process was for that, and I would really love to know what that process is like because excuse me, my God, because wow, I found it fascinating some of the choices that were made. Emerald Fennell. This probably sounds really contradictory, even though I said I hated the unreliable narrator and the different perspective of having the new tenant get told the story. I am a little bit upset that they didn't stick with that structure because I feel like it's a really nice, wholesome, it's definitely very cliche, but it's a really nice, wholesome way of storytelling. But of course, if it was told through Nellie's perspective, we wouldn't get all the smut, which makes a lot of sense. But they could also have done the, like, oh, let me tell you the story. But again, that's very naff and very, like, cliche storytelling. So they want to be different. And again, just put the story Nellie told and made it their own story. And was like, you know what? This is what Nellie missed. This is what Nellie missed. It was kind of genius. I don't know. I don't think you can compare the two. I think you can try, like I am. I guess that I know that there's definitely more people out there that are very much Bronte fans. This is my first Bronte book. Emily Brontë is my first. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure her sister wrote Jane Eyre. So, I don't know, classic texts have always stood out to me, but I've never been brave enough to pick one up. This movie coming out motivated me to pick one up. And now I'm kind of like, oh, do I challenge myself to another? Do I do another? Do I challenge myself? I don't know. It's interesting. It made me think. And that's what stories should do. They should make you think. They should make you delve within and make you realise something about yourself or about your world or about something, and just make you think and reflect and challenge your beliefs and all this stuff. There's so much you can learn from books and words and stories, talking with people, like not even just reading. So I recommend this book. I think I really do. But I did write something down in my reading journal. I don't use this. This is the second time I've used this. So let's see how we go. I wrote a few things down. Wuthering Heights was published on the 24th of November 1847. My final review. Overall, it was brilliantly if I can speak. Said overall, it was a brilliantly melancholy tale. I was confused and moved, invested at times, mainly when part 2 began with Miss Catherine Linton. I adored how Mother Cathley's shunned spirit lived on in her daughter. I disliked every other character's behaviours, and it was all false, as it was all false. None of them were true and honest in their actions or choices in accordance with how they felt. It was the deliciousness of an enemies to lovers without the satisfaction. It was an unreliable narrator, which I never fully enjoy. In saying this, it made me feel. I felt how small their world was, yet how large it was for them. I've never been more saddened, felt more heartbreak, disappointment and fury whilst witnessing a story be pieced together. This means, yes, it was a good book. It made me feel many things, majority of it uncomfortable, which is good because there are lessons within the story, a great many lessons telling you, the reader, to live truthfully in all life. You never know when death will greet you. To play but not to get lost in the game, to love, to be kind and loyal, to do nearly exactly the opposite of every single character in this book. To make up your own mind about who you are without parental influence, to have the world's greatest comeback or not to come back at all, being Heathcliff returning and coming and going. The words, the declarations, monologues and moments, all of it add to this wondrous and torturous world of Wuthering Heights. It helped me to realise as well that it was written in 1847 for 1847. But imagine Emily Brontë smiling at her stories being read, heard and brought to life now in 2026. I just got full body chills. Nearly 200-year-old text of fictional drama. Incredible. There is something to be said about it if we're still here deciphering and discussing it today. It clearly holds something of power and or value that we as humans keep returning to. Fascinating, endlessly. That's what I wrote. There is so much that we don't know in this world, and there is so much that we're yet to know, and I feel like stuff like this helps. It helps us get to know it. It helps us figure it out. We're never going to know it all fully, so that just went elsewhere. So yeah, Wuthering Heights was a really good book. It was a really good movie. If I had to pick one over the other, I always have to go with the original. The original needs to happen. The original, without the original, the rest wouldn't exist. So you do with that what you will. Yeah, so that's my rant over. I hope you read it if you haven't. I hope you give me your opinions if you have read it or if you've watched the movie. Just tell me what you think. I just really want to know in the comments below. Tell me what you know in the comments below. But now I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching this video. It is much appreciated. I'm sending you my love and I appreciate you so much, and I think you should pick up a book or go watch a movie and then think about it a lot and make you think. Pick a movie that makes you think. Not one that switches you off. That's bad. That's bad TV. That's bad cinema. But yeah, thank you for watching Wuthering Heights. I would rate it an 8 out of 10. The book. The movie, an 8 out of 10. I hope you have a lovely day, night, noon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I appreciate you so much. You should like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm so tired and I'm going to go to bed after this. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about Wuthering Heights and things about life and thoughts and feelings that I've come up with it. I appreciate it. Yeah. Leave a comment if you have any book recommendations, if you have any thoughts about Wuthering Heights, the movie or the book. Tell me what your thoughts are. I'm genuinely curious. I really want to know what other people are thinking about this, because there's a lot of noise around it, but I want to know what you are thinking. But But yeah, thank you so much. Have a good night. I appreciate you. Thanks.
Understand what I just watched. Guys, I can't get over it. Why did they leave it? I'm trying to reconcile with my feelings right now. I've literally read the book, so I knew it was coming, but Jesus, it's such